In order to show you how Spring profiles and configuration work together and give you a demo, I just created that profiles application. This is just like the demo application we created before. So you can just follow those steps and create an application for yourself and follow along with me from there. In this application, what we're going to do is we're going to have a hello service and we're going to provide a method to it. With this method, we're going to say our name or anything that we want to greet, and we're going to have two different implementations behind. One for the English and one for the German one. So the English one is going to say hello and your name, and the German one is going to say hello and your name. So to do that, we're going to have an interface, and that interface is going to serve us as a service. So let's just create a package and name this package as service and have an interface there. And this interface is going to be a greeting service. Okay. And of course, to Spring to scan this, we're going to annotate it as a component. This interface is going to have a single method. This method is going to say hello and take our name or anything you like as the parameter. Okay? This is our greeting service. So now we have to make two different implementations for this service. One for the English and one for the German. Greeting service English. Okay, simple as that. And this has to be also marked as the component. And we have to implement our greeting service. So IntelliJ is warning us, and let's just implement those methods, and here we go. So in this English version of the service, we're going to say hello and the name that we provide. That's it. Now let's just create the German version, and we're going to say greeting service German. Okay. And let's just implement our greeting service and override the method. Okay. In this method, we're going to say hello and the name that we provide. Of course, we're going to annotate this as a component. Okay. Alright, we have our basic structure for our profiles test. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a controller and test our application from there. To do that, let's just create a controller package and have a class there and say that it's a greeting controller. What this controller is going to do is we're going to expose this controller as a web service, web method, and we're going to take our name as the parameter, and we're going to call our service to create responses for English and German one. So to do that, let's just make this a web method. And of course, we're going to use request mapping for that. And the path is going to be a backslash. And of course, this is going to be a risk controller. Alright? Now, let's just have a method to say hello. This method is going to return a string. Let's just make this method a web method and use request mapping. And the path for this method is going to be hello and /name. And of course, the method for this path is going to be get. Okay, so let's just take our path variable and say that it's the name one, and of course we're going to get this as a parameter to our method. So there we go, we have our basic web method here. Now what we want to do is we want to get our greeting service. We want to make use of our greeting service. To do that, let's just create a instance variable for our greeting service, and to actually make use of it, let's just auto wire it. Okay, now with this greeting service, what we want to do is we want to say hello, and we're going to use our name as the parameter. Alright, we have our application. Of course we're going to return this to our users and to ourselves, of course. To actually make use of it, we have to say that one of them is going to be used as English profile and the other one is going to be used as the German profile. So now let's do that. Right here we're going to say profile, and since this is the English one, we're going to say this is the English profile. And in the German one, we're going to say this is the German profile. Alright. To activate these profiles, all we have to do is just go to application.properties or application.yaml, whatever you file you choose to create. You're going to say spring.profiles.active, and in there Spring is going to automatically complete this for us. For the first test, we're going to use the English profile, and as you can see, this profile is right here. We have our active profile as English, so our controller is going to go to the English one for the implementation. So now let's just test this method to see if everything is okay. To do that, let's just go to our profiles application and run our application. Alright, our application is up and running. Now let's just open up the Firefox to test our method. So we're going to say localhost 8080 hello and / your name. So if we hit enter, as you can see, we're seeing hello Niazi as the response. That's just because we set the active profile as English one, and English one is going to return us hello and your name, just as we said here in this profile section. That's the magic of profiles. You have two different implementations and you say that one of them is active and Spring just use that one. Simple as that. So now let's just try this out with a German one. Okay, let's just restart our application. Alright, our application is up and running. That's great. And as you can see here, German profile is set to active, and in the previous startup we had English one as set as active here. And that's a nice way to know that which one is active, which one of your profiles is active. Alright, so to test our method, let's just go to Firefox again, and now let's just hit enter. As you can see, we are seeing hello Niazi as the response this time. That's just because that we're set the active profile as German. Isn't that beautiful? You're setting your profile to anything you want, and Spring's just picking up the bean for your application and presenting you that implementation for your application. That's a great and beautiful way to separate your environments, your implementations, anything you want in your application. To make an overview of what we've learned up until now, I'll be seeing you on the section overview in the next video.